Hi everyone, welcome to the Crumb Cake Kitchen. Today I'll be making a 2-tier Among Us theme cake. I've chosen a simple black fondant background to show off the tasks and other easy graphics from the game. I've tried to keep the steps simple and easy to follow. Here I have an 8-inch and 6-inch cake. Both are approximately 6 inches tall. I'm using a 6-inch cake board to mark the outside edge of my top tier with a small sterile pin. This way I know that my supports need to stay within this circle. Since my top tier is so small, I'm only going to use 3 bubble tea straws as dowels. Begin by pushing the straws all the way down to the bottom of the cake where it meets the cake board. Make sure they're good and straight. Take a food-safe marker and make a line on the straw level with the height of the cake. Pull the straws up and cut along the line. Now push the straws back down to the bottom and make sure they look level with each other. I use royal icing to glue the top and bottom tier together. Place the second tier on top and press gently down to make sure the cakes make good contact. I've added 1 teaspoon of tylose powder to my fondant to help it firm up and give it strength. Roll out the fondant to a log shape with rounded ends. I use a round tool and make a hole where the legs will begin. Take a sharp knife and cut the legs out. They're a little bit tapered at the ends, but if you forget, you can just mold them with your fingers later. Remove the excess and smooth the edges. Cut the legs to the desired length. Using a square cutter, make the backpack. It should be big enough to cover the entire back. Twist skewers into the legs to help your character stand up on the cake. Now to make the goggles. Using a rectangle cutter, cut out a thin piece of black fondant for the border. Attach this to the face with water. Next, roll a piece of light blue fondant, but leave it a little bit thick. Cut out with the same rectangle cutter. I cut a little piece off the end so it fits nice and neat inside the black border. Attach it with water. Don't forget to attach the backpack. Once you have, set your character aside to dry. Making the dead body character is almost the same, but you won't need to make the goggles. The dead body still needs a backpack, but it's half the size. Follow the same process as the previous one, but cut the character in half at the waist. Using a piece of white fondant, mold a bone shape. Place it on a skewer and put it in the top of the body. Set it aside to dry. I'm adding a metal walkway that goes in several directions, just like in the game, and I'm using a light gray fondant for this. I happen to have a diamond plate fondant mat I haven't used before, and it seems like a great option for this cake since the game takes place in a spaceship. You could leave your fondant plain or texturize it with something you already have on hand. I've chosen rectangles and cut every second one in half for a staggered look. Attach the pieces to the cake with a small amount of water. Make sure you get down at eye level and ensure the pieces are lined up correctly. It's a lot more difficult to change it later. Continue the walkway until you've gone all the way around the entire bottom tier. For this task, you'll need a large square cutter, a circle cutter, and a small hexagon cutter. For the background, I'm using dark gray fondant. Cut out the square and take your time to ensure the edges are nice and straight as the fondant stretches a little when you remove the cutter. Next, cut out a blue circle. Attach the blue circle to the square with a little bit of water. Now you'll need 3 dark pink hexagons and 4 light pink hexagons. Attach the hexagons to the blue circle with water and set aside until later. Let's do the wire task. Cut out another dark gray square. For this task, a clay extruder will come in handy. You can purchase these on Amazon or at most local craft and hobby stores. See the link in the description below for my extruder that I purchased on Amazon. I like it better than the twist type because it's a little easier on my hands, though by no means easy. If you don't have one, just roll out the fondant wires as thin and uniform as you can, or use a strip cutter. Attach the fondant wires with a little water. Continue until you have all 4 colors of wire in whatever pattern you like the best. Again, set this aside until later. For the final task, you'll need 2 light gray squares. Cut one smaller black square and attach it to the light gray square. Next, cut a small blue square and place in the center of the black square. Cut out 9 small dark gray squares and attach in the pattern shown. Take a small ball tool and make 5 indents at the top of each light gray square. Add some piping gel, and finally add dragées to make the buttons. Now let's make the emergency meeting electric firebolt. I've measured the circumference of my top tier as 20 inches, and I need this bolt to wrap around the entire tier. Roll out your red fondant to just over 20 inches long and about 5 inches wide. Using a sharp knife or cutting tool, cut jagged edges in a random fashion. The first time I did this, I put way too much thought into it and made it too complicated. Simple is better here. Now you'll need some salmon-colored fondant for the inner layer of the bolt. I used a tiny bit of my red fondant mixed with white fondant and a drop of orange gel to achieve this color. Roll the fondant out to just over 20 inches long and about 3 to 4 inches wide. Again, cut random jagged pieces on both sides. Brush a little water on the red strip and attach the salmon fondant on top. Then place the completed strip on a tray, or in my case, a quilting roller, and set it aside. Now it's time to add all those details you worked so hard on. I like to steam my cake at this point. It'll help with the adhering of the decorations and make the cake look great. Be careful not to add too much steam though, or you might get some drips and spoil the look. Using a paintbrush, add a small amount of water to the back of each task and attach them to the bottom tier wherever you like. To attach the electric firebolt, add some water to the cake. I like to roll it up gently as if I were paneling a cake. It's easy to tear it otherwise. I'd suggest a second set of hands to support the strip while you apply it if you'd rather not roll it. Trim away any excess. Last but not least, the finishing touch. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments below. I'm always here to help. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe by clicking the bell for future notifications. As always, thank you for watching.